My next guest is the governor for the Battleford's Midget AAA Stars, and he is also the head coach of the newly constructed JP2 high school football 9-man squad. Bruce Yockey back on the Co-op Leisure Time Sports Fix, and Bruce, it's a pleasure. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, no problem. Yeah.
How long have you and the other faculty members at JP2 been pursuing a football team?
Well, I don't know if so much it's staff. I mean, for a lot of years we've had students, that's always one of the biggest questions that comes up is, why don't we have a football team? Why couldn't we have a football team? And so, the interest just kept growing, and basically, about a year ago, our principal, Mr. Carlo Hansen, decided, maybe that's a good thing to survey our students. And we were looking at other things to improve the school and programming and stuff, but definitely one of the questions was, about football, and it was pretty much overwhelming from our students that it was something that they would really like to, to be involved with, so that kind of got the ball rolling.
And then here we are, fast forward a year later, and it's recently announced that JP2 will be competing in the Northwest 9-Man Football Conference. What were some of the factors that you feel helped your case and eventually landed that 9-man squad?
Well, like I said, just the overwhelming response from our students, that was first and foremost out of any program that they were looking to start here at John Paul. Football was at the top of the list, so Mr. Hansen and then Sean Lepke, who teaches here, and Vic Stinsky, our athletic director, started to survey some of the schools that had recently started programs, and so we had discussions with both Meadow Lake Carpenter and PA St. Mary, and visited PA and checked out the facilities, and started the groundwork at there's a lot of things that go into starting a program of that size, and so a lot of homework had to be done. And after talking to those schools, both schools said that it was a really positive experience. One of the best things that they had done was to start a football program, and so that allowed us, hey, I think this is a good idea, and we began doing our homework into what are the costs, what are we going to need to do, and then allowed Mr. Hansen to put forth a proposal to our board, which they accepted, and here we are trying to get ready for next football season.
Bruce Yockey is my guest on the Co-op Leisure Time Sports Fix. He is the Midget AAA Stars governor and as well the head coach of the JP2 Football Crusaders, who are about to enter 9-man football this year in the Northwest Conference. What has the early response been like from the students now that it's official? And do you have a specific number in mind as far as an ideal number of players for Season 1?
Well, in discussion with some of the other 9-man teams, probably looking at a 40 to 50-man roster. We've had a lot of response from our students, more so now, like you said, that it's been official. We have a lot more, especially the senior athletes. They kind of wait around and say, is this going to happen, or is this just rumor or hearsay? And once it's been confirmed, they're ready to go. So it'll be interesting here. We're looking at running a spring camp probably the first 2 weeks in June, and we'll have 5 workouts, and we'll begin to see where our students, how many we have, and where they fall into place.
What about your own football background? I mean, we're all aware of your background in hockey and a lot of the hours and time that you put forward into hockey, but have you always had a big love for football as well?
Well, I think just about everybody in Saskatchewan, we live and die with the Riders, and I think everybody has an interest in football. In high school, my senior year in grade 12, I did play in Wilkie, and then I didn't go to university right out of high school, and so I stuck around and helped out 1 year at home in Wilkie with their team, and it's a great game. Like I said, it involves an awful lot of students, which is nice, and something that definitely has always been an interest of mine.
What about your fellow staff, and is it safe to say that you'll have a lot of knowledge to lean on with some of your helpers?
We do. There are some people that have been involved before. Dallin Schwab has helped out, coached 9-man before in Rosetown previously, and we have some people that were involved, whether it was back in their own high school day. Is there a learning curve here? Absolutely. We're banking on some people in the community that have previous experience to help us out. We're going to lean heavily on Football Saskatchewan, especially with our spring camp, things like that. Even some of the coaches over at the comprehensive high school are willing to share knowledge and help us as well, and so that's been a big help as well.
My guest right now is Bruce Yockey. He is the head coach of the JP2 Crusaders 9-man football squad that are going to be beginning their history in 2011 in the Northwest 9-man football conference. You touched on it earlier, Bruce, some growing pains obviously inevitable in this type of situation, but how do you think, or how long do you think it will take to make the JP2 Crusaders competitive in the 9-man football conference?
Realistically, I'm thinking it's going to be probably in that 3 to 4 year range. I think there's going to be a huge learning experience for us. First of all, the coaching staff, and even for our players and athletes here to first of all experience football. We have no high expectations as far as wins and losses and anything like that. We're just trying to start the program from the ground up and see where it takes. If it happens sooner that we are really competitive, great. If not, we're willing to bide our time and learn and move from there.
With all of that being said, you're heading into a Northwest 9-man football conference with some pretty strong programs. What with Delisle going 7-0, Meadow Lake, Unity, Kindersley, teams that are perennial winners. Can we view this as a positive, that you'll be going up against these teams that are very reputable in a very reputable conference?
I think so. You play in a conference. I think you want to compete with the best. You want to learn from the best. Like you said, there are some outstanding 9-man teams in this conference, and we're going to take some lumps there. That I think goes without saying, but. There'll be great programs to look at. They've been more than willing to share with us. The league, our conference, have been very positive about helping in any way they can to get our program up and off the ground. And they're excited, and they've welcomed us with open arms into it. So I think it'll be a good relationship and gives us something to shoot for.
Bruce, for someone who's listening to this interview right now who feels like they may have something to offer from a volunteer standpoint, whether it is football knowledge, whether it is game day involvement in some capacity, is it too early to start taking calls and fielding calls from interested people who want to help this program succeed?
No, absolutely not. We've had a number of calls to the school already, and we really appreciate that, and we will be tapping those people for sure. So if there are people out there, whether we have parents of our students who have experience, just want to be involved in some way, shape, or form, there are many different avenues. We're really starting to find out that the football program extends more than just beyond the field with the players and stuff. So, by all means, we would take anybody who's willing to help out, and they can just call the school and probably talk to our principal, Carlo Hansen, is best to get in contact with.